All right, S13. Now is when the fun begins. We get to evaluate. We get to use all the rules that we've been working with and being able to understand how to use them. And on these, sometimes there's going to be more than one way of doing these problems. So if I show you one way and you can think of another way, that is perfect. I'll try to show you a couple of them that would have more than one way, and some of them just have one way. So let's go on. So we're going to evaluate. We're actually going to be able to get answers now. And I am going to show you two ways on this one. And so the first one, what most of y'all would see is that we have a plus sign. So we could multiply the 4 and the 16 together and get log base 4 of 64. Now, what does this mean? Remember, logarithms are talking about exponents. So just out to the side, this is asking 4 to what exponent will give me 64? 4 to the 1 is 4, 4 to the 2 is 16, and 4 to the 3 is 64. Be very cool if you could remember some of these more common ones that we're going to be using. So this answer is going to be 3 because the exponent is 3 to have 3 4s multiplied together to get 64. Now, because I have worked with these for, longer than you have, watch this. If I just work with this one, this is asking 4 to the what will give me 4, and that answer is 1. This is asking 4 to the what number will give me 16, which would be 2. Then, if we put a plus sign between those two answers, what are we going to get? Woohoo! 3, which is what we got right there. So these are so cool. I love them, love them, love them. Now on this one, 6, there's not in a correct amount of 6's that multiply together to get 162. So there's not going to be a second way of being able to do this. So we're just going to go the old-fashioned way and divide 162 and 27. And 162 divided by 27 is 6. And this is asking 6 to the what power will give me 6. And the answer is 1. Log to the base 2 of 128 over 2. Log to the 2 of 64. And that's asking 2 to the what number will give me 64. And if you don't know, grab a calculator and do 2's until you get to 64. But the answer is going to be 6. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 is 64. All right. We're going to multiply with the base 6. And this is saying 6 to the what power gives me 36. And the answer is 2. So 2 to the 6 is 64, but 6 to the 2 is 36. So just because you have the same numbers doesn't mean that you're going to get the same answer. We're going to divide. Okay. Now, if we don't have a base, what is understood? A 10. So this is asking 10 to the what power will give me 10. And the answer is 1. Well, that was back up. I kind of forgot what I was doing. Because there is a second way of doing this, which is basically like I did on the first problem. But I'm only going to do it this one way. So this is asking 3 to the what power will give me 81. And the answer is 4. Looks like 14, but it's actually 4. Okay. Now, natural log e to the 25 over e to the 16. Because they're both the same bases, what are we going to do with 25 and 16? We're going to subtract them and get 9. But remember, on a previous lesson, it's been a while, natural log e basically cancels out, or it's 1, and then, so your answer is going to be 9. Okay, 2 ways of doing this one. Natural log e to the 5th times e to the 9th, natural log e to the 14th, and those cancel out and you get 14. I'm going to rewrite the problem. If you know natural log e's cancel out, then you have 9. If you know natural log e's cancel, you have 5. If you know natural log e cancels out, you have 9, and 5 plus 9 is 14. We're going to multiply 50 and 2 and get 100. You do have a base, but you don't see it, which is 10. So 10 to the what will give you 100? 2. Okay, shortcut. Let me back up. Which of these, awesome. Which of these is the base? It's kind of a trick question. This z is the base because it's a log problem. This z is a base because it has an exponent. If your 2 bases are the same, they cancel out, and you're left with your exponent. The 2 bases are the same, they cancel out, and you're left with your exponent. Then you do what sign is between them, and in this case you get 11. We must move the 2 up to the 3. We must do 3 to the 2nd. We must multiply the 9 and the 4. And this is asking 6 to the what power gets you 36, which is 2. Natural log and e cancel out. Minus. Now, natural log and e cancel out, but because we had a 5 right here, we must get an answer, and it's not going to be 0. This e does have an exponent, which is 1. So we must put that there. And the natural log e cancels out, and we get 8. So 5 minus 1 is 4, plus 8 is 12. Okay, normally I would just say natural log e's cancel out. Again, there's a couple ways of doing this. I'm trying to think of what would be the easiest way for you to remember. Move the 2 up first. And since it already has a 2, you're going to multiply the 2's together and get 4. So the natural log e's cancel out and you get 3 with a plus sign. The natural log e's cancel out and you get 4. So 3 plus 4 is 7. Y's cancel out, you get 7 over 4. Minus. The y's cancel out and you get a negative 1. This minus is this minus. This minus is that minus. You need to have both of them. So 7 over 4 plus 1, which is 4 over 4, which would be 11 over 4. Or get your calculator. Okay, log 16 over 160 is log 1 over 10. All right. Now, you know our base is 10. 10 to the what power will give me 1 over 10. Because this is a whole number and it goes to a fraction, if it's a whole number that goes to a fraction, then this must be negative. And because 10 stayed 10, it's going to be a negative 1. Use cancel out, and it's a minus negative 1 or a negative 1. Now, I'm going to do this one a little bit differently than the other one because that's why I said there was a couple ways that you could do it, and I'm going to show you this way on this one. The minus 4 can stay where it's at, and the 3 can come down, but if the 3 comes down, it must be multiplied with a negative 4 because the 4 is with that log. So this is going to be negative 1 minus 12, which is negative 13. Last one for Unit S. Bring the 5 up. Do 2 to the 5, which is 32. Divide. Don't have a clue, and I'm not going to get it wrong, so I'm getting my calculator. 1/6. What in the Sam Hill did I just do? Log base 6 of 1 over 6. So this is saying 6 to the what will give me 1 over 6. It goes from a whole number to a fraction, so the exponent needs to be negative, but the 6's stay the same, so our answer is going to be negative 1.